The celestial dragons are known to be the enemy of the D-Clan, but are some of them actually a part of the D-Clan? Were they in the past? And do they have the potential for Conqueror's Haki? Those are the questions I'm going to try and, answer today. There's no definite answer, but I'm just going to say what I think on these topics. And I just want to say that I'm not the first person to talk about these. I thought of the idea that, they might have the potential for Conqueror's Haki because of what Garp said and because of what Dragon said. But then when I was doing research, I saw some information on Don Quixote, their family, and if they're part of the D-Clan. I just saw some pictures going around when I was looking for a thumbnail for the Celestial Dragons, and I thought, okay, this kind of makes sense. So I don't want to take credit because a lot of people have talked about this before. I'm just, making my own take on this point and my own ideas for this theory. Now, to start off, we have to go back to what Garp said. Now, when Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki in Marineford, Garp says, along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, "Oh, so you have it too, you were born with it as well." Now, the fact that he said you were born with it as well implies that maybe it's something that's passed down through kind of generations, to say the least. So maybe Dragon had it when he was born, maybe Garp had it and he passed it down. We don't know who Garp's father was, but it's what Garp is implying here, that it's something, Conqueror's Haki is something that is passed down. Now, the reason I say this is because most D members, or people who are part of the D-Clan, can use Conqueror's Haki. Not all of them. Many of them, we like Law, for example, we haven't seen him use Conqueror's Haki. It doesn't mean he isn't able to, or doesn't have the potential, but he might not. So this isn't definite, but most of them do have the potential to use Conqueror's Haki, such as Ace, Luffy, I would presume Dragon as well, Roger. So being part of the D-Clan doesn't give you Conqueror's Haki, but it just seems that most people who are in the D-Clan do have Conqueror's Haki or awaken it at some point. Now, my theory is that all of the Celestial Dragons, all of them, have the potential to use Conqueror's Haki. I'm not saying that they will get it, I'm saying that they have the potential if they did train. Every single, like Doflamingo, for example, he was able to use Conqueror's Haki when he was a kid. And this isn't just some random thing. If a kid's, when he was a kid, he was going to get killed, and he just awakened Conqueror's Haki. This isn't something that just happens because you're in a bad situation. Like I said before, I think you are born with this ability. Now, this goes into one part of the theory, because this isn't really a fair argument, but Doflamingo is the only Celestial Dragon we've seen who did train, who did try to become strong. And look at him now, he can use Conqueror's Haki. And to add to this point, it's that it's called Conqueror's Haki, King's Haki. It's the Haki of the kings, the conquerors. What are the Celestial Dragons? Their ancestors were conquerors. They were the kings. In the Void Century, 800 years ago, they're the ones, the kings, the conquerors who took down the ancient, I don't remember what they were called, the past civilization. So it's passed down like Garp says, or like Garp implies, then that means the Celestial Dragons do have it in their blood. They do have Conqueror's Haki. It's just they never train, they never try to unlock it, so they'll never be able to use it. But if they did, they all have the potential to use it. Now, the thing is, the only Celestial Dragon we've seen, like I said before, is Doflamingo, so he's the only example we can use, since he's the only one who's tried to go strong. We could use Vivi as well, but she's never tried to use Haki. See, that's the only plot hole I have here, is that Vivi and her father, they never showed any signs of Conqueror's Haki, and they are, they can be considered Celestial Dragons, really, in that regard. So I guess that's the biggest plot hole, and I'm sure there's maybe more, but I really do think that the Celestial Dragons, for the most part, do have the ability, not the ability, but the potential to use Conquerors if they try to learn. Now, the other part of this theory is that, now this is where it gets a bit tricky, because I think that, well, not I think, I did see this online. This part of the theory I got from online, just some titles I saw. It showed two images of when Don Quixote Rocinante and his father, Doflamingo's dad, when his brother and dad, both of them before they died, or when they died, they both died with a smile on their face. Now the thing is, these are the only two celestial dragons ever that we've seen die. Like, straight up die. We've seen them die. It's weird that the only celestial dragons that we've seen die, both died smiling. Now, this could mean one of two things. Either A, the Don Quixote family is a part of the D clan, or B, the celestial dragons were members of the D clan. Maybe they were rogue members of the D clan, like Blackbeard. He's a member of the D clan as well, supposedly. As of now, he's a member of the D clan, and look at him. He's not, like Luffy. He's not really a good guy in a sense. Well, neither is Luffy, but you get what I mean. Just being D doesn't necessarily mean you're on the right side. It's possible that the 20 Conquerors, were all members of the D clan, and they just betrayed the ancient civilization. Im Sama convinced them, maybe, and they were part of it to begin with. They were part of the ancient race, and they just betrayed them, and they became, the celestial dragons. Now, this one is very hard to believe. I would go along the lines of just saying that the Don Quixote family are members of the D clan. At the very least, even this is very unlikely, but that's why it's a theory. Because not only when both the Don Quixote, like Rocinante and his father both died with a smile on their faces, it's just they were different from the other celestial dragons. Like you could argue Vivi, yeah, even that's a stretch. I don't think she's a D. But, they're different from the other celestial dragons. I mean, like Rosegard, the green-haired guy in Marie-Jean, and Rocinante, his father, they're all different from celestial dragons. The Don Quixote clearly, like the other celestial dragons said, they're not like the other celestial dragons. So maybe it's just them who are part of the D clan, or were. Or maybe it's all of the celestial dragons, but, it's just the fact that when both of them died, they had a smile on their face. I mean, that really, really heavily implies, that they could be part of the D clan. Either way, it's really unlikely, and I doubt this is the case. I mean, the celestial dragons being part of the D clan, maybe, probably not, but them having the potential for Conqueror's Haki, I would like to believe so. They're not ever going to unlock it, but their ancestors could have had it, and it could have been passed down. Look at Doflamingo. I mean, he awakened it without any he just awakened it. You could say, why didn't Rocinante or anyone else awaken it? But I mean, those are the plot holes in the theory. Maybe I don't really actually know what to say about that. That's why I'm not definite. But I really do think that they have the potential, if trained, to use it. You know what I mean? Either way, that's all I have for this video.